Hello, hello, and welcome to day 5 of the 555 challenge. We are here, guys. We made it, coaches. Woo! We made it. And everyone who's here live and or on the replay, you did it. How you feeling? Pat yourself on the back. Day 5. We've been running a marathon, guys. We've had a lot of awarenesses, a lot of ahas, a lot of moments of, could that be true for me? And wow, I didn't realize that is what was going on for me. And that can feel really huge and maybe a little bit overwhelming. So we're going to lean into that a bit today and discover what could be supportive of you in all these awarenesses and ahas that you're having. But before we get into that, guys, in case you are not familiar with why we're here and what we're doing, this is the 555 challenge where we're transforming 5 fears into 5 freedoms. And you guessed it, 5 days. And these fears are actually the 5 mindset blocks that we all experience at one point or another, or simultaneously in our lives, that keep us from living in our fullest and highest expression and feeling on point and on purpose in our lives and free to be who we are. And I know a lot of us have shared our stories around this, and also those of you in the live chat have also shared your stories on this, and we so much thank you for that, because it can be hard to be vulnerable and open and to really look at these things. It takes a lot of courage. So we just want to commend you for that. And, cheer you on, because this is a journey and we're here with you. And it doesn't end today, guys. This truly is the beginning, especially if you're feeling ready to take that leap, to jump in and to see your life in a fuller, brighter expression. Now, who am I? I am Gilly Henson. I am a certified whole wellness coach. I'm a mentor to new whole wellness coaches. And I am here with many amazing, beautiful certified whole wellness coaches as well. We all have different unique talents and gifts and specific areas we like to focus on. I myself love to help open-hearted and sensitive individuals to heal their hearts, to get out of the overthinking mind, to ground into their intuition, their knowingness, their highest expression, so they can live a life of purpose and harmony. That is what I'm here to do and what I get to do, what I love to do. And you're going to hear a little bit from each of the coaches on what they love to do and why they're here as well. And guys, if you want to unmute and welcome everybody before we jump into the next step, I welcome you to do so.
Hi, everybody. Here we are, day 5. I'm so excited.
Hey, everybody.
Yes. Yay. Yep. Here we are.
Woo-hoo. We did it, guys. We did it. So, guys, coaches, I'm sure you've been hearing from many people that you know and love who've been reaching out to you saying, hey, this is what's going on for me. And I realized this during the 555 challenge. I'm not really sure how to navigate this. I'm not really sure what my next steps are or what that looks like for me. Or maybe some of you are in the audience and you've been a little reserved and holding this close to your heart, and you're not sure what to do with all this awareness that you've been having. And we want you to know that there is support for you, and there is a structured model that we're going to share with you today. So hold tight. I'm going to go ahead and present to you a really beautiful presentation here and share with you a bit about what we have available to you next. So let me go ahead and jump into the comments, guys. I'm doing it on my phone today, so bear with me as I look down on my phone to see. Hi, Marnie. Hello. All right. So, guys, me and technology. Now I'm doing 2 devices at one time. Woohoo! Scaling up. Perfect. All right, friends. So, who here has been feeling like, I've been having some awarenesses around what's been blocking me or what's kind of been coming up for me? And golly, I don't really know how to apply that in my life. These coaches are sharing some really good insights and exercises, but I really want to go the next step and really take it from concept into my reality, my world. And hi, Vula. Hi, Christine. Hi, Lori. Hi, Gino. Hello, friends. All right. Hi, Bob. See you there. All right, friends. So let me go ahead into speaker view here. And let's take it to the next level. Who's ready? Who's in? Who wants to know more? Yeah, Miel is definitely. Yeah, right. Because we're excited about what we're going to share here because we love what we're going to share here. We felt it. We know it. We love it. And we're excited to share a bit more about what that is. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, guys. And we're going to pop into this. I hope everyone can see it. Let me know if you can see it on your screen. That'd be wonderful. And get rid of that there. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Here we go. And all right, it looks like thank you, Lita. Perfect. All right. Okay, guys. So we're going to share with you a bit about the break-free model. And what is that model? Well, it is a structure that Lita Sportel, our mentor, who has hosted this space for us and created this space for us, and I'm sure you've heard us mention it throughout the 5 days, is that Lita has graciously and patiently trained and certified all of us whole wellness coaches. She has brought us into a state of confidence and knowingness and coherency to teach that of which we've learned and to guide others through this break-free model process. So let's get into it. How about it? Okay. So there's 3 reasons why Lita Sportel created the break-free model. Well, first of all, it was out of her own frustration and her will to live life better and to help others live life better. And she herself has gone through many different things in her life, starting back when she was 19 with huge wake-up calls regarding a huge health crisis. And I don't know if you know much about her story. I'm sure you'll hear it in other places and in other times in which Lita is here to share it. But she herself was in a state of there's got to be a better way. And the doctors and the specialists are telling me one thing, but I am ready to find my own path in this and to take it to that next level that these individuals just can't take me to, or that she was sensing they couldn't take her to. So she's had 35 plus years of her own personal therapy and personal growth journey. And she's a dedicated individual. I don't know if we've ever had the honor of speaking with Lita, but she's a Virgo, ruling number 5. She's all about detail. She's all about bringing all the pieces together and making it actually practical and applicable to her life and to the lives of others. And so that's what she did here. She started working as a psychotherapist in 2009 after a very big journey from Greece all the way to the USA, where she met Dr. Joe Dispenza, where she fell in love with quantum physics, neuroscience, all of the topics that we've been sharing, how to heal the heart, how to heal the body, brain. And she's like, I gotta bring this all together, because in her psychotherapy practice, she was seeing that they were all very fragmented pieces of these of the healing modalities that we've been discussing. And she wanted to create something that was accessible, affordable, something that was structured and effective and could actually expedite the transformation process instead of it being a consistent merry-go-round kind of experience where there'd be a little bit of healing, then there'd be something triggering, clients come back, and they just weren't feeling empowered in that process. And Lita also saw that some of the mentors, coaches, and therapists that she was working with may have had their own limitations too that they were dealing with, that they couldn't get to their next level. And she wanted to get to her next level. So if she couldn't find it outside of herself, she was going to create it for not only herself, but for those she served. Now, she did one-on-one therapy sessions and group therapy sessions, but she noticed that without a structure to this process and a methodology, it just wasn't going very fast, and it was taking a very long time for people to see and experience her transformations. And being that Virgo, ruling number 5, wants to move, wants that freedom, wants to see things happen quickly, but in a gentle and loving, heart-centered way, she's like, I'm going to make something. I'm going to make something, by golly. So that's what she did. And that's why she created the Break Free model. Now, if you're not familiar with Lita, she is a licensed marriage and family therapist, as well as a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. And as you can see on the screen, she has a whole list of different certifications, qualifications, and things she's learned. You know how Miel was saying, I'm a little geeky and sciencey? Well, that's Lita as well. She's also geeky and sciencey, and she likes to have all the information. It's not about half in, half out. It's all in. Let's bring it all and let's bring it into a cohesive and attainable structured methodology. So that is what she did. And you can read a little bit more about her here, but we won't go through this entire thing right now. You can also reach out to Lita to know a bit more about who she is. I'm sure she'd be happy to express that to you. Now, she is very passionate about helping her clients break free and heal. And really what she enjoys most is helping others to define their vision and really lean into and find their purpose. And I know a lot of us can relate to that. What is my purpose? What am I doing here? I'm feeling called to something bigger. And she herself felt that and has worked with so many others who have felt that. And that is where her passion is. So she helps us to define a vision, create a fulfilling life, embody the knowledge in which we're learning, and embody your purpose, and also inspire others to do the same and make money while doing it. Now, Lita has created many different programs, different Facebook groups. She is in so many different places, guys. I don't know if you noticed, but she is visible in so many places. Now, one of those places is a membership community. It's called the Whole Wellness Membership Community, where we do live events and we take some of the first steps and continuing steps in healing and just having that nourishing and nurturing container for continued growth and healing and tuning in. She also has designed many different courses, guys. And one of those courses I'm sure you've heard us mentioned many times in this 555 challenge is the Break Free Mind program. Now, she has created it so you can do one-on-one and or group coaching in these. And she also offers a signature certification program. That's what we went through, all of us coaches, where we learned how to help others by becoming intuitive and loving coaches. Yes, intuitive. That's a big word that we use a lot to us coaches. And, you know, if you were to know Lita 20 years ago, you might have seen a very different picture. And I say that with love, because we've all been a different version of ourselves. And if you would have seen me 20 years ago, you would have been like, that's not the Gilly I know, right? So it has been this very loving and holistic process that she's gone through to do what she is now doing, guys. So big up to Lita for taking that journey and for bringing all these pieces together for all of us. Thank you, Lita. Perfect. Okay, so how to break free from anything that has been keeping you stuck. And now we don't want to overgeneralize the word anything, because that can feel like, oh, geez, oh, okay, you're just telling me, poof, here's a magic wand, break free. No, it's really that she has applied these techniques in her therapy practice and her one-on-one and group coaching practices and tested it so thoroughly. She has seen it work for so many different areas of people's lives. Speaking of the 555, right? The 5 challenges, the 5 mindset types or mindset blocks that we've been going over this entire challenge. She's seen it time and time again and created all these different things because she wants to know. Lita wants to know. She's all about research and study. And so she brought it into a holistic methodology and saw that it's actually working in many, many different areas of people's lives. That is the break free model in a nutshell. So let's go ahead and move into a little bit about what we've been doing here on this 555 challenge and what you have been noticing in this 555 challenge. Maybe you've been resonating towards one particular block more than another, or maybe all of them. But if you could just take a moment and just tune into what is one area in your life you want to change? Just one. We don't have to think of the whole forest, guys. We're going to focus on one tree today. What is one area in your life you want to change? This could be around perfectionism, procrastination, time crunch, feeling like there's not enough, others' opinions, living up to others' expectations, being in a situation or relationship that you're not happy with. So just go ahead and tune to that for one moment here, and I welcome you to share it in the chat what that is. If you're feeling open to do so, there's no pressure. If you are not feeling comfortable to do that, just hold it there in your heart. What is one area in your life you want to change? And once you have that in your heart, think of the last 5 days that we've been on this journey and think, is it possible that I can choose again in this area? Is it possible I can experience something new? Well, I hope you're saying yes, because it is possible, friends. It is absolutely possible. Now, thinking that it is possible, let's move into the feeling of it. Let's just kind of envision in your mind, vision, and kind of call in those feelings into your body of what it would feel like to experience this area of your life being stuck and not changing. What would it feel like if this was continued? Would it feel the same? Would it get worse? What does your life look like living in the same experience of being stuck in that one area of your life? And again, guys, we're just looking at that one area, not to get overwhelmed in this. But what does it feel like to be stuck and for things not changing? And by all means, you can share here in the chat what you're feeling so we can all relate in this. For me personally, feeling stuck in certain areas felt hopeless, felt overwhelming. I knew I was wanting to do more for my life, but I just felt like I didn't have the tools, or that I just wasn't good enough because I wasn't able to be successful at the things that I was being told would work. And that didn't feel very good. And if you guys are chatting about this, Marnie, worthiness, yeah. Yeah. Michelle, thanks for sharing about your experience with Break Free Mind and how it has truly changed your life. And how gentle and holistic and powerful the Break Free Mind program is that Lead have created. So, Christine, my purpose because it gets blocked by others' opinions. Yeah, right? I totally understand that. Like feeling the drive and the inspiration to do something, but then we hold ourselves back because what will the other person think? Or maybe we've shared our vision too early and that person's like, are you kidding me? There's this, there's that. Yeah, that's not possible. That's never been done before. So I feel you, Christine. I feel you on that one. Thank you for sharing. It's scary, right? Frustrating, painful. And Bob, yes, change is inevitable, right? So even though we feel stuck, change is inevitable. And whether we like it or not, a change will happen. But how can we make that change what we want to experience as opposed to something that happens to us? Right. So we want to get out of those painful experiences, the feeling of unworthiness, the scary feelings of being stuck and life not changing. And thank you so much to everyone who shared here in the chat about what that feels like. And let's get out of those feelings of frustration. And let's just take a little stock in, well, what have you been trying to do to change this area of your life that feels stuck? What things have you been trying to do? Maybe it looks like affirmations and law of attraction, or talking it out. Maybe it looks like nothing. You just haven't been doing anything. That's okay. We're just kind of looking at what has been working and what hasn't been working, because that's what we want to do in our lives, right? We just want to take a moment and pause and reflect. So go ahead and just take a moment and think about what you have been trying to do to change this area of your life that you're feeling stuck in. And feel free to share them in the comment section so we can, again, all relate with one another in this. Now, for me personally, I was doing vision boards, I was doing affirmations, I was doing mirror work. Yet all those things on my vision board just weren't, they were not coming in, guys. And it wasn't for lack of trying. It was for another reason. And we're going to get into that in just a moment. So even though you may have been trying things that haven't been working, that's okay. Your efforts are for a reason, and you've been doing a good job. It's just you may have been missing a few pieces of the puzzle that I'm going to share with you here in just a moment. Let me just check in with the live chat to make sure I'm not missing anything here. So what have you been trying to create that change from feeling stuck into forward momentum? Guys, in case you haven't already shared in the chat, I'd love to hear from you on that one. And no pressure, just if it comes up, go ahead and share it. All right. So like I mentioned, I was trying various things to help myself. Vision boards, law of attraction, positive thinking, and they all have their time and space, and they all have their benefits, guys. But there's 3 reasons why these things were not working for me, and why I didn't experience the results I wanted, and possibly why you haven't been experiencing the results that you've been wanting. And it could be with therapy, coaching, other programs, just anything you've tried that hasn't really brought you to that next step of transformation, or really felt like you've had a breakthrough. Thank you, Marnie. Meditation, journals, affirmations, breath work, you name it. Yeah, a lot of different things, which are all wonderful in their own regard. But guys, we're in the whole wellness method. So we're looking at the whole picture. We want to bring it all into one cohesive methodology. So it's not scattered pieces. So 3 reasons why you haven't had the results you wanted. And thank you so much for sharing, Marnie. I appreciate that. So reason 1, and as you can see by this beautiful illustration here, is that we have the head, the heart, and the hand. And we have the infinity loop connecting all of them. Well, the reason why we have all 3 in the infinity loop here is that all 3 need to come into play and come into alignment in order to see and experience breakthrough, results of transformation. If we're only focused on the head or the heart or the hand, it's really challenging to actually see results that last. We find ourselves back in the same situation again and again, which maybe some of you remember me speaking about the relationship struggles I would have, and how often I'd find myself in the same relationship struggles time and time again. It was different people, same kind of scenario. And I had a lot of limiting beliefs. I had a lot of hurts in my heart. So therefore I couldn't live it out in front of me. So we need all 3 of these things to come into alignment in order to see those results. Now, first, let's take a look at the head. And many programs do teach and focus on positive thinking. And there's nothing wrong with positive thinking, guys, right? We do want to flip scripts. We do want to open up to new perspectives, but that can also create a lot of pressure on us. It can create a lot of pressure on you to just have a positive attitude. And then we kind of feel ashamed. Maybe we feel like we failed a bit because we can't be as positive as others, or as spiritual, or just be able to, turn off the negative thinking like that. And it feels a little rigid. And then we are just kind of creating more of those like Bob mentioned, what you resist, you persist. What you resist persists, right? So if we're resisting the hurts we have and the things and we're not thinking and bringing awareness to the limiting thoughts, it's going to persist in our lives. So clearing it up with positive thinking isn't actually working. It just kind of brushes it under the rug for a moment until it becomes a bit compounded and becomes bigger than it needs to be. So we need to kind of look at the conditional patterns, the automatic thinking, and the ego mind that has a very dominant role in our lives. And we need to kind of separate these different areas of our mind, so we can get to the core of why we're stuck. And we also have seen, and probably many of you have experienced here, the law of attraction. And again, guys, there's nothing wrong with these things. It's just there's missing elements that need to also be looked at, nourished, honored, and developed within ourselves in order for them to actually be effective for us. So if you're not familiar with the law of attraction, it's to visualize and attract what you want. And maybe speak words like, I'm ready to experience this, I'm ready to experience that. But really, it becomes kind of a game of feeling good about it for a moment, but there's also a bit of resistance in us that says, can I really have that? Can I really attract that? And then we feel like we're not creators and we're not, powerful attractors. We can't magnetize things towards us because we've been missing a piece of the puzzle, and there's a bit of resistance in us, maybe in the limited mind, limited thinking patterns, those automatic thought patterns that we've been carrying that we haven't been so aware of, or some emotions or traumas that we've been carrying in our hearts that keep us from seeing ourselves in that new regard or seeing ourselves having those things. So then we basically end up feeling, again, kind of like a failure and feeling a little ashamed, like, well, I made the vision board. I've been focusing on that beautiful necklace for months now, and I haven't seen anything like that come in. I must kind of suck at this. When that's not true. We're all very much powerful creators. It's just we need to get the head and the heart and the hand aligned to see that. And we need all pieces of the puzzle, guys. We need to look at the root causes of what's blocking these things from coming into our lives. So that's the head. Now we're going to move into the heart. One of my favorite topics, the heart. And it's important that you find a program that understands scientifically and intuitively the power of the heart. And yes, intuitively is key here. And that's something we heavily focus on because a lot of us think that we don't have intuition, or that we might have like a gut feeling, or we think we hear things, or we think we're like getting a message or gathering information, but then we're like, is that really what I'm hearing? Is that really what's going on? And we kind of fight against it and doubt ourselves that we are actually very intuitively strong people. And a lot of us have dealt with things in the past that have made our hearts close up, right? We go numb, we build walls of protection. And if you remember my story last night, guys, after all those betrayals that I experienced, I really did close off my heart and I became very emotionally hardened. And I needed to look at those things and not like look at them, oh, I got a microscope, but like actually address them and be validated for the things I was feeling and experiencing in those pains, in order to heal them and bring a new perspective and light to them so they could actually be released from my physical body. Now, that was me. I was harboring anger. I was harboring resentment and hurt. And raise of hands, who's been there, guys? Have you felt that feeling as well? And is it possible that there might be a little bit of anger or resentment or hurt or some pain there in the heart that really wants to be seen, wants to be loved, wants to be addressed? And feel free to share it in the comments here, guys. I'm sorry I haven't been checking. Yeah, Christine. Yeah. Felt like you were doing things wrong because they did not bring the breakthrough healing. And there's not many teachings about the blocks other than shadow work integration. Yeah. And even the word shadow or the phrase shadow work how does that make you feel, that word in general? Like, I think we can all have a different perspective on that, but it's not that these are bad parts of us or dark parts of us. They're just a part of us and our experience. And how can we liberate it from us and love it? How can we move the energy in our bodies from that? But I hear you about, well, let's look at the shadow side. Let's look at this. And it kind of sounds a little taboo. I mean, and that's just my perspective, guys. By all means, share with me how you feel about it. I'm open to all perspectives on that. So yeah, we're looking at, yeah, not a Band-Aid over a deep wound. We're looking at the deeper wounds, but we're allowing it to be healed in a very gentle way. And we're not just, going day to day thinking, oh, things are fine. Everything's fine, right? And that's that positive thinking, everything's fine. Or these bigger wounds, like, yeah, that happened, but, I'm a big girl, or I'm a big boy, or I need to be tough, or whatever the thought process might be, or whatever you've been told, or whatever the expectation is that you're trying to fulfill for others. It's just not conducive to living in your highest expression, and that you have the right to live in your highest expression and to allow your heart to feel nourished and to look at these things very gently so you can get out of overwhelm and eliminate those feelings of being triggered by others throughout the day. I know I've been there, especially in relationships, like dynamics at work relationships. I'm feeling triggered by others and not really understanding myself. And especially if you're an empath or a highly sensitive person, these conversations about being an empath and a highly sensitive person aren't always expanded upon in a lot of programs. So you really want to work with a coach, mentor, therapist who has an understanding around being an empath, being a highly sensitive individual, because it looks quite differently. And there's a lot of little nuances around being that type of individual, being that sweet, open-hearted individual who may have some limited thinking patterns, who may have some deep wounds that have now manifested into anger or resentment or guilt, and that you can fully relate to the person you're working with and that's helping you. So we want a safe and gentle environment that doesn't feel scary, that doesn't overwhelm you, and that really understands who you are and where you're coming from with a very open, non-judgmental perspective. So you can heal those wounds in the heart. And you want to understand the power of your heart, guys. And I think we talked about that a little bit. Trying to remember when, I can't remember. We talked about the electromagnetic field around the heart. Miel talked about it, and that it's 5,000 times greater than the electromagnetic field around your brain. So why are we spending so much time up here, guys? Right? We want to align it. This is so much more powerful. So we don't want to leave it out of the equation. And we don't want to leave this out of the equation either. We want to look at the subconscious. We want to look at the conscious. We want to look at the heart, the past, the present, and the future, so we can live more magnetic and fulfilling lives. And when our hearts are feeling more expressive and more free to feel, we are allowing ourselves to feel greater elevations of happiness and explore what we're trying to attain through the law of attraction, because our hearts are more open to it and feel more worthy of receiving it. And it doesn't feel so scary. So that's the heart, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat here, anything that you're feeling. And yeah, asking for forgiveness for the inner child, a lot of forgiveness work. And guys, that can sound scary at first, or like, why would I want to do that? but it is truly freeing. And through this break free model, it's not pressured to do that. It's more guided on how that could be possible for you in a way that feels aligned with where you're at and what you're welcoming in. So, Michelle, we are so quick to judge ourselves all the time. So bringing in the heart connection with gentleness is so important when emotions come up. Yeah, it is. And you've been hearing a lot about gentleness here in this group, guys. And a lot of us don't know how to be gentle with ourselves. And it's a consistent practice that all of us coaches facilitate in our lives every day, employ in our lives every day, and that we guide others through, because we just never been told how to do it, or it was never modeled to us. And some of the hardest parts is learning how to be gentle with ourselves beyond meditation, beyond breath work, beyond journaling and positive thinking. And it's more about, how am I feeling okay to express how I'm feeling, even if those feelings are not warranted as positive feelings or spiritual feelings. I can truly love and accept myself even in those feelings. That's gentleness. Gentleness. Okay, guys. So, and I already talked a little bit about highly sensitive people and empaths, those of us who feel very deeply, and how it's important to have a guide to help educate you on this. And if you're not sure if you're a highly sensitive person or an empath, that's totally understandable. I had no clue either, but I did know I felt a lot and I could feel a lot of things. And we have a quiz, guys. If you're interested in taking that quiz, let me know. Type in the chat empath quiz. I'll send you a quiz on over, and you can see if you may be an empath. And I won't go too deep into that right now, but if you are someone who feels very deeply and you have a very open heart, it's important that you are in a program and in a nurturing environment that understands that and can align with you in that. So last reason, guys, this is a hand, the last component here, the hand. Now, like I was talking about earlier, a lot of programs in the traditional psychology model is pretty fragmented, where you're just focusing on either mindset or trauma work or subconscious work or energy or emotions, behavioral changes, goal setting, all these different things. And it really doesn't bring it into a full picture. And again, there's a reason there's an infinity sign on that graphic, because we want all of it. All of it's necessary for transformation. And we need all the pieces of the puzzle to actually feel like we have created a transformation in our lives, and not just focused on one small area that didn't really feel like anything budged, right? So going back to the question of, what does it feel like to remain stuck in that area of your life? Well, what does it feel like when you can only focus on one aspect of who you are, when you're made up of a multitude of different things, thoughts, beliefs, emotions, actions, creative energy? There's so much to who you are. So why just focus on one part of who you are? It's important to have a full rounded scope of things. And that can lead to a lot of comparisons, guys, when we're in programs or in groups and we're like, why is this person getting that? I have no idea what they're talking about. I'm just not there. I'm not there yet. We want a program that meets us where we're at and that can really address all parts of ourselves, not just one area, so we can feel as though we're right on time. And we don't just want information. We don't just want knowledge, which, that's all wonderful. But we need to be in a coherent state to receive the information and knowledge and actually embody it and practice it in our lives. And we want to take it from concept and theory and from out here ideas and bring it into our bodies, ground it into our bodies, so we can actually live it and see how it actually is applying to our lives, and not just being like, oh yeah, I learned this thing, and if you do this and you do that, then this could happen. well, we actually want to put it into action and see what that looks like in real time, so we can see the transformation in action and experience it in action. And again, we're not looking to change your behavior. No program should just look to change your behavior, because that invalidates your feelings, and your feelings are a huge part of who you are and how you vibrate and how you attract and how you experience life. And if we're disconnected from those feelings, we're not really able to experience the life that we want to experience, because we're not allowing ourselves to feel. We're just focusing on positive mindset, or, well, let me just do different habit forming things, or if I change this about myself, then it will be better. It's that whole back and forth between if this, then that, when that's not really going to work, because there's deeper root causes that need to be addressed. Now, guys, that's the 3 pillars to change and to, let me move my screen here. The 3 pillars to change. That's the 3 H's that Lita, Lita, she loves her acronyms. We talked about that earlier, guys. And Shauna, you came up with a good acronym, PEEM. Here's another one for you. The 3 H's: head, heart, and hand. Head, heart, and hand, guys. So you want those in a state of coherency in order to experience transformation and actually feel breakthroughs. Otherwise, it's just going to feel like a merry-go-round. Same thing, same thing. Reason number 2, why you haven't gotten the results you wanted. You have not gotten to the bottom. And we say the bottom because we call it the root causes, 11 root causes of what's keeping you stuck. And that's why you're finding yourself into the same situations. Who has been there, guys? I've been there. Raise of hands. Let us know. And you're like, I'm taking 2 steps forward or 1 step forward, 2 steps back all the time. Consistent push and pull. It's just the same thing over and over. And by golly, I really want to experience something new. And let's see. I'm just going to check in here. Yeah, Christine, to be stuck in feelings of hopelessness, confusion, shame. I feel you. I've been there. I think a lot of us coaches have been there, because we feel like we're just not doing it right, or we're not good enough to understand how these concepts work, how these theories work, or we're just not smart enough, or we're too far gone, or whatever it might be. And I'm really sorry that those are the feelings you're experiencing, but I'm really happy you're here at the 555 challenge, so you can see that there's another way to it, and that it's not your fault. It's not your fault at all. It's just a lack of understanding that these other programs haven't been offering, or that these other things haven't been offering, and it's just been fragmented up to this point. So let's bring it all together. And Michelle, yeah, you can definitely relate. I love what you said here, Christine. These 5 days have really helped me see I'm not broken, just have some blocks to my growth. Thank you. Thank you, Christine. Thanks for showing up for you and for sharing this in the chat, because I think there's others that are here or going to be on the replay that can also relate to what you shared, and that we don't have to feel so alone in our problems and what we're experiencing, or to feel shameful that we have some maybe negative thought patterns, or that we have some anger or some resentment, and that we are truly beautiful, spiritual, loving creators and beings on this planet. It's just that we've had some blocks, and that's okay, because we can move past them. And we want to get to the 11 root causes. And on the screen here, guys, you're going to see a picture of a tree. And at the top, you're going to see a bunch of leaves here. Now, these are the symptoms that we feel. We have a shame around body image, or we feel stuck. We have self-doubt, maybe abandonment issues. And that's really tough, guys. That's a tough feeling to be in. It's very scary. We compare ourselves to others. We judge ourselves. We maybe have a lot of emotional overwhelm in the day, or disconnection from our emotions. Maybe we're struggling with anxiety or scarcity or genuine relationships. Maybe we're feeling a little lost and without a purpose. And look down here at the bottom, guys. We have the root causes here at the bottom. Now, each of these symptoms that you see at the top, each of these leaves, they become unhealthy if the roots are not addressed. Now, the roots at the bottom, we have quantum paradigm. You remember that discussion we had last night about quantum mechanics? Consciousness and choice, emotional mastery, somatic awareness, conversation with the body, thought patterning, relationship dynamics, neuroscience, and brain rewiring. Yes, you heard it. We get geeky here. We go there, but we do it in very actionable and easy to digest ways that actually make sense. And it's not like too far out there that you're like, A plus B equals C squared times 3. What? No, that's not what we're doing. We make it super simple and easy to understand. So it actually applies to your life. It makes sense. Otherwise, what's the point, right? Science of the body, super important. Trauma healing, spiritual connection, and energy manifesting. All of these things in one model. So it's not scattered pieces. We're looking at all of it. And that's 11 root causes, my friend. And you may have heard me, I'll talk about some root causes earlier this week. And that's a lot of what she was referring to there. So reason number 3, why you haven't yet gotten the results you wanted using different paths. Well, they focus on fixing the problem. Now, how does that feel? I'm the problem. That doesn't feel very good, does it? Well, it's not that you're the problem or that you have problems or issues. It's just that there's a block, there's a root cause, there's a true part of you that is not being looked at. And we can go kind of deep into this, guys, but I want to try to keep it fairly baseline here of that we need a framework to follow. Otherwise, we're just scattered into these different areas: behavior, cognitive, trauma, energy work. I'm lost for words here, guys. But what I'm saying is that if we take all these different paths, they can take us to a certain destination, but do they take us to the destination we want? Well, if we're not looking at all 11 of the root causes, where we're bringing all those different paths together into one structured framework, we're not able to experience those sustainable results and repeatable structure that we can apply to our lives over and over again. So we can navigate the unknown. So we can feel like, oh, I have a roadmap, right? That's the break free model. I have a roadmap. Oh, I could see what root cause is coming up for me right now. What root cause could need some addressing. And I'm not the problem, but I am the solution. So we take all 3 of those reasons. Lita has created the whole wellness psychology method. You saw it here, guys, in this beautiful planter. Reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, all here in this one beautiful planter, the whole psychology method. That is what Lita has created through her 35 plus years of self-help, self-awareness, personal growth, therapy, her professional practice, her spiritual practice, her personal practice. And she brought it together to create the whole psychology method. And that is, guys, the 3 pillars of change, the 3 H's, head, heart, and hand, and the 11 root causes, all brought together in a fast track 45-day safe and gentle process for transformation. And that is break free mind. Yes, break free mind. That is what we've been sharing a lot about. And maybe you've heard us say it, maybe you haven't. But everything that we've shared in our stories, what we've overcome, what we've realized, the exercises, the tips, the tools, those have all come from a space that we were able to get to through the Break Free Mind 45-day program. And raise of hands, who's excited? Break Free Mind program, learning a bit more about that right now. We're going to go into a little bit deeper about what this program is, what is entailed in this program. And there's a lot, guys. There's so much in the Break Free Mind program. It's pretty incredible. We have 11 modules over 6 weeks. We have cheat sheets, journal guides, 6 group coaching sessions, plug and play templates, and tools for complete coherence. Yes, all of that in one tiny little program It is 45 days. It is fast, but it is accessible and it is gentle. And anyone who's been through the Break Free Mind process, in the chat, let us know how you felt about going through the Break Free Mind program. Love to hear it. So you can share with others to give them a better understanding of what it's like. Now let's just go a little bit deeper into each of these things. There are 11 modules inside this program. That is 11 modules that speak to every aspect of your life to help facilitate transformation in areas that you may not have even known were possible or that needed to be looked at. Maybe you're like, maybe I have that root cause, maybe I don't. I'm not really sure where I'm stuck, but I do feel stuck. Well, these 11 modules will help illuminate that for you. And they're very much, they're crafted in such a way that they pretty much do the work for you, bringing you the information that you have possibly been seeking, more than likely been seeking, maybe have known, but not really understood. And it's all available to you for lifetime access. So you can just go back to it time and time again. And we all do this. All of us coaches go back to Break Free Mind and we watch a module again and we get different pieces of information and insight from them each time we watch them. So how this will help you, even if you have no clue of what is keeping you stuck, the program really does it for you. It helps you to identify what's going on. And so does your coach. Right? Just talking it out has so much power, guys. And it takes you from theory and concept into practical, actionable, and really, Lita has proven that these steps work, and all of us here can attest to that. So you can actually apply them to your real life. And that is priceless, guys. Otherwise, you're just up here, woo, all the way in all these different places. It's like, well, how does that make sense for me? I'm going through this, that, and the other. I guess I could do that, but I don't really know how. Man, I just wish someone would help me. Tell me the way. But these 11 modules help with that. And it eliminates the need to gather resources from many different places because it's all there. It's all in the program in these 11 modules. And that definitely will save you time. It will save you money, and most of all, it will save you energy. It'll save you from pulling your hair out, thinking like, will this work? Will that work? If I put this together and that together, maybe that will do it. I don't know. Well, this has already been proven to work, guys. Lita has tested it many times over, and she wouldn't put anything out there unless she had already tested it, because, well, she wants to know it works. Remember how I told you she's kind of sciencey, kind of geeky? She's all about information and research. Well, that is how this came about. It wouldn't be here without that. So it brings these 11 modules create a cohesive and structured methodology that combines it in a way that actually makes sense for you and doesn't create more chaos or overwhelm because it's provided to you in a very gentle and easy way. All right, we have cheat sheets and journaling guides, and this is part of where the magic happens, guys. It consolidates the information from the 11 modules, so you have something to go back to reference. And the guides, the specific guides, accommodate for all learners, all different learners, maybe your auditory, visual, reading type, writing, kinesthetic. Well, Lita wants to apply all of those into this program, and she has, so it's attainable for anybody and everybody. And these journal guides help illuminate things that maybe you're just like, whoa, I can't believe I hadn't thought about that in 2 decades. I totally forgot that was something that I experienced. It's very illuminating to have these journal guides and to help you process what's going on, instead of brushing it under the rug or covering it up with positive thinking or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All those things we were just talking about. It helps you dissolve feelings of being lost or left behind. And it also helps you reduce feelings of pressure and or worry because it keeps you on task, on point. It holds you accountable to you. So you feel like you're actually making progress and you're doing the things. It's tangible, right? These are tangible processes and steps to use even outside the program. Like it's not just about, oh, I'm talking with my coach, I watched the module. And I've seen this with my clients is that they're using the steps outside the program, and they're sharing it with me. And I'm like, oh, do you realize you're using A, B, C, and D that we talked about last time? Like, oh gosh, I guess I am. And it just becomes so natural for them that it's become part of who they are. And it's not like, okay, this is happening, so I need to do this, that, and the other. It just becomes a part of their experience in life. That's how easy it is. That's how tangible it is. Helps you develop self-trust, confidence, intuition, and focused attention. Right? Keeps us on point. And it eliminates the fear and complexity of change and transformation and just makes it an easy, breezy process. Yeah. And I say easy breezy because it actually truly is. By the end of the 45 days, you're like, whoa, 45 days went by really fast. I'm at a whole new perspective in my life and I feel much better. I'm seeing things differently. I'm holding myself differently. I'm relating to others differently. And I'm understanding how I am more powerful than I ever thought I was. So that also will save you months of and years of wasted time trying to put all these things together that didn't work. It really takes the trial and error process and throws it out the window because Lita already did all that over the last 35 years. She did that for us. So thanks, Lita. Thanks for saving us time. And guys, we have 6 group coaching sessions, and it's one session once a week for 6 weeks. It's what's really important to us is that it's conducted in a very safe and nurturing and comfortable environment. And there's stated group agreements and confidentiality agreements so that you feel safe to open up and to really express yourself in these group sessions so you get the most out of them. It also helps you to stay accountable to who you are, what you're intending to do. Hearing from others in your group helps you like tap into the things you're like, oh gosh, I never thought of that before. Or oh, you're speaking my life here. Brings clarity. And also it helps to customize your journey. So it's not just theory and out there concepts. It's like, this is what's going on in my life. This is what I'm experiencing. I see how this is actually relating. What I'm learning in these modules is actually relating to my life. And boy, doesn't it feel good to really check in with myself. So in these group sessions, you get to relate with others, you feel safe. It's personalized for your journey, so you can actually integrate it into your world and receive loving support from your whole wellness coach and from your group members. And like Kathy was saying earlier, you become family. We become family in this because we again feel like we're not so alone in the hardships and the things that we're experiencing. And there's just a beautiful feeling of, I don't even know what the right word is to express this outside of family, but it's respect for one another, it's compassion for one another, and it's really a state of true being in love with who you are and in love with your brothers and sisters on this planet. So in these group sessions, you get to see the whole puzzle, how it comes together in your world. And so you can quickly pinpoint the root causes that are coming up for you, and you don't have to do it all alone. There's plug and play templates, guys. They're easy to use. It helps you to process where you're at, helps you to say, oh, these 3 didn't relate to me, but this one does. So you actually understand what you're going through, and it makes more sense. And it's not just like, well, I think this is what's happening for me. It's like, this is what's going on for me. That's so freeing. It's so liberating, guys. It's very validating. It's very much an invaluable resource. Now, Lita spent years compiling these things, and she's brought these things in from many different places and created cohesive templates for you to process what's going on and identify more of who you are and what's been occurring for you. So you feel validated. You can identify longstanding patterns that have been holding you back in a gentle way, save time, save money, have it more personalized, and expedite your process of transformation with step-by-step formulas. And it's something you can go back to all the time. So you're not dependent upon your coach all the time or your therapist or whomever you're, if something triggering comes up, it's like, oh, let me pull out these charts I have, these templates I have. Let me go back to that module. I remember the module about relationships. I'm going through a relationship hardship right now. Let me go back to that and see what new nuggets of wisdom want to come out for me. What wants to be processed? Oh, and let me look at this chart again. So you are empowered as a healer. And like Bob was saying, your own badass healer, right? We want to get into that state of empowerment in our lives. So we have, last but not least, guys, tools for coherence and integration. That's the head, the heart, and the hand that we were talking about earlier. And Lita has specifically designed meditations, an emotional freedom technique process, and a proprietary manifestation formula to help get your body and your heart and your mind all on board so you can actually experience transformation. It's created to bring brain, heart, and body into coherence and address inner conflict, head, heart, hand, and support long-term and sustainable change that actually lasts. And it's designed specifically to help save you time and to bring coherence to the body and to the heart and to the mind. We don't want to leave any of those pieces out, guys. It helps to calm the internal state of feeling like the tug of war, the 2 steps forward. I'm really focused on forward momentum. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Dissolves feelings of second guessing yourself, uncertainty, or being on a roller coaster and constantly being triggered. I continue to go to these tools for coherency. Like, honestly, the EFT process I use regularly. The meditation on thoughts in particular is one of my favorites. It really helped me in the process and continues to help me for that continued growth in my life. And I don't know if any of the coaches here can relate to that. In a moment, you guys can go ahead and share. But let's go ahead and keep moving on. And this helps, these tools help to basically get you out of the state of self-sabotage. Can I really experience this? Oh, this is getting too good. I might need to just create, stop doing this because what if I do this and they don't love me anymore, or whatever the hang up might be. And we just kind of get trapped in this vicious cycle. These tools for coherence will bring you back to, what is it I truly want? How can I get my mind on board? How can I get my heart on board? How can I get them aligned so I can hear clearly and intuit the next steps that are best for me, knowing they're meant for me and feeling okay to receive those things. So guys, you heard it. That was Break Free Mind in a big, big nutshell. Very big nutshell. But it is a very quick and transformative process, only 45 days, 6 weeks, 6 group coaching sessions, 11 modules, templates, charts, tools for coherency. And is Break Free Mind for you? You might be wondering, is Break Free Mind for me? I don't know. What are you guys feeling? Let me check in with the chat here. I've been talking a lot, guys. Okay. Michelle, you use these tools. Yeah, you use these tools all the time. Perfect. And you refer to these charts almost daily. Aren't they so helpful for processing? I feel you on that one. Oh, yeah. So Michelle shared here. Yes, I healed so many blocks in only 45 days. I was never able to achieve this for myself in any other programs or books. Me neither. I wasn't either. I was stuck in very much negative thoughts, limited thinking. And I felt like I wanted life to change, but I didn't know how to change it. And I was scared to get out of my comfort zone. Because even though the comfort zone is uncomfortable, it's familiar. But do we want familiar and uncomfortable, or do we want liberated and free and expansive? So is Break Free Mind for you? Well, there's a few secrets here, guys. All the puzzle pieces must come together. If you've been one person who has been trying all of the things, and I mean all of the things to feel better, yet things only get better temporarily, then Break Free Mind is for you. If you've been slipping through the cracks with too much information, too many things coming at you, that just don't give you a clear, holistic picture of how it actually applies to your life, then Break Free Mind is for you. Break Free Mind brings it all together so that you can get unstuck, and experience the peace and freedom that you've been actually seeking and craving in your life. We want all those puzzle pieces together, guys. We don't want fragmentation. We want to see it all, because that's how transformation happens. Secret 2, the 11 root causes to get to the bottom of what's keeping you stuck. And as you heard earlier, the 11 root causes, they are something to go back to time and time again and to identify with time and time again. So if you have often felt like you are blindsided by life, or like, oh gosh, this again, or you're in a state of fear of success, fear of failure, or that the other shoe may drop at any moment, or that the same things just keep happening over and over again, then Break Free Mind is for you. We want to get off that merry-go-round, and we want to be in an autonomous state. Break Free Mind gets you to the bottom of things, those 11 root causes, so you can release long-standing patterns that actually do not serve you any longer, and gives you a sustainable and firm foundation and process that you can actually repeat again and again, and in all areas of your life. And I say all areas of your life because, well, you saw it in the 11 root causes, nothing was left behind there. Secret number 3, how to expedite your transformation process and manifest your dreams. If you want to see change in your life, you know there's more for you. And I was there, guys. I was there. I was like, I got to get out of this. I got to do something different. I feel a call. I'm supposed to be doing something better with my life, something more impactful. I know I have a mission. What is that mission? Why can't can someone come just tell me what that mission is? What my purpose is? Well, it's a process of identifying with it. And that's what Break Free Mind helps you with. And the whole psychology method helps you with. So, and you might be a little fearful of the unknown. So you're like, I'm just going to stay here in the comfort zone. Again, back to that comfort zone. Now, it doesn't require you to, the Break Free Mind doesn't really require that you go into like deep traumas or dig into the past like heavily, but we look at the root cause of where things may have stemmed from, and we bring healing and gentleness and a process to help you through those things so they don't have such a strong hold on you, and that you actually see yourself free and untethered from these things in your life. And it's just 45 days. I know it sounds crazy, but it is just 45 days. It goes by pretty quickly, and it's astounding what you take in and embody just in those 45 days. But I want to reiterate, guys, we're all about gentleness here and intuition, and really leaning into who you are and meeting you where you're at, so it doesn't feel beyond you or a high pressured scenario. We want you to be able to navigate the shifts in your life. And so things don't feel like a slap in the face, and the change doesn't feel like an abrupt change. And it feels like, I did this. And we want you to feel safe and supported. And that's really important to any transformation process, for it to stick. So guys, that is Break Free Mind in a nutshell. You may have seen some prices up there crossed out on these slides. Now the total program value is $6,850. This is Lita's blood, sweat, and tears have gone into this program. Her wisdom, the things she's acquired and attained and come to know and practice and test over and over again. There really is no monetary value we can put on it, because it really is a priceless thing that she has created. How priceless is it to feel more alive and free in your life? There really isn't a number you can put to it. But if you were to look at her website, you would see it listed for $997. Just go in there, guys, because we're here in the 3D world. That's what you'd see it listed as. But because you've been here on this 5-day journey, you've taken the time to look at these 5 blocks. You've taken the time to connect with us. You've taken this new role of responsibility in your life of, yeah, I can do something different. Yeah, things can change. I can choose again. There is a better way, and I'm willing to see what that could look like for me, well, then you, my friend, you're going to get a huge discount. Yeah, it's not $997. You get a huge discount. And what I'd like to encourage you to do is to reach out to the coach that invited you to the 555 challenge, or any coach that may have resonated with you, and send them a little note that says break free. Okay, send them a little note to say break free. All right, and you will receive a special discount. And let's just take a moment here, because this has been a lot of information, has it not? I can feel it. I feel like I need a little bit of water. Let's just ground our energy for a moment and just notice the floor beneath your feet, and notice the seat you're sitting in and how it supports you. Let's take a nice long breath in and out, and just allow yourself to relax in this space. And just give yourself a moment to imagine what it might feel like if you woke up each day sensing and knowing that there were endless possibilities opening up for you. That life is a beautiful canvas that you just get to paint however you want. How would that feel? What would that look like in your life? Imagine if you were free from some of these fears that have been holding you back, fears of others' opinions, fear of changing, fear of taking that leap. How would you feel? What would you do? What would you do with that new sense of liberation? Imagine if you woke up every morning without anxiety or worry. How might your day be different than it is now? Or if you felt so clear on what you really wanted to do and your purpose, how would your life be different? And just imagine it. Have fun daydreaming a bit here. Go into those feelings of, yeah, what can this look like for me? And just take a nice deep breath. In and out as you explore what this might look like for you. If your relationships became more genuine and fulfilling, loving and deeper. And if you felt confident to really go for your dreams, and confident to be the powerful manifester, creator that you are born to be and that you're meant to be, what would that look like for you? Just take a moment to imagine that. And feel free to share in the comments what life might look like for you if that was the case. How would you feel, guys? If you could choose one word, what would that feel like? Beautiful. For myself, it feels like freedom. It feels like happiness, creativity, connection, and feeling on purpose and purposeful. And that honestly makes me feel a little teary-eyed thinking about it and feeling it. And knowing that is our greatest and highest truth. And thank you for taking that moment to just ground into how you might imagine this in your life, what this could do for you. And guys, we want to bring you an opportunity to take fast action. We just did some grounding. We want to encourage you for some fast action, or a fast action bonus. Reach out. The first 3 people that reach out to their coach and say break free, receive an extra discount. You could reach out to them through direct message or email, or if you know them personally, you want to call them on the phone, that's a-okay too. And as we get into the money mindset block for today and the coaches present, they're going to share with you how you can reach out to them, how you can connect with them further, and make these feelings that you just imagined and envisioned for yourself, this life you envisioned yourself, and how to bring it into your world here and now, and within a 45-day journey that feels gentle and kind and supportive. So again, the first 3 people to reach out to each coach, that's 3 apiece, and say break free, receive an extra discount. All right, beloved lights, thank you so much for joining me in this journey and learning about the break free model. I am so happy you stuck with me through this to learn a bit about what this model can do for you, and honestly what it's done for me. And I'm sure the coaches here is going to share a little bit about what it's done for them, as they're also going to be sharing the money mindset block and their stories and some tips and tools there. So without further ado, and let me just check here. Christine, yeah, break free 45-day challenge feels like a life preserver thrown my way as I have been paddling frantically, drowning in all the self-help tools, barely keeping my head above water. I feel you. I feel that anxiety there and what that feels like, and just to consider the idea, like, I'm not broken, I'm not wrong, I'm not incapable. It's just that I haven't been given all the puzzle pieces. I haven't been given the full picture, and to feel a sense of relief that Break Free Mind is that life preserver for you. So I am so honored by that statement, Christine. Please reach out to your coach and send them the word break free and let them know that you're ready for this journey. And all else who are resonating with this work, this information, all of this dedication and commitment that Lita has put forth in creating the break free model and the whole psychology method, and learning a bit more about what that method is, how you can become a part of teaching the whole psychology method, how you can embody it in your life. Reach out to us. We're here for you. That's what we're here to do, is support you. So my friends, without further ado, let's continue with the support for this afternoon and move into the money mindset block. And first off, we're going to start with, let me finish. Let me get out of my screen here, guys. One moment. Bring it back to the coaches. Let's just do a quick check-in with the coaches here. Hey guys, how you feeling?
Doing great,
Hey.
Gilly. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. It's a lot of info, but it's so valuable, and it's so important that people understand where it's coming from, what it is, what's involved. So you can't skim over that stuff. You just got to say it.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. Absolutely. Beautiful, friends. Okay, so
Really?
yes.
I was going to say, there's such a connection with the Breakthrough Mind and people that you meet and stuff, the connection of that family and connection. And the other thing I found for me, there's the different learning styles in there. There's their PDFs, but then there's videos you can watch, but then it's typed out. You can read it. There's different ways of every learning style is available in the Breakthrough Mind program. That's what really helped me, because my squirrel, I got all my
I'm so glad you shared that. Yeah, it doesn't matter what your learning type is. There's something for everyone in this program, so you can actually acquire the information and take it in. Absolutely. Thanks for adding to that, Kathy. I appreciate that. Bob, did you want to share?
Just awesome. There's so much there that I'll probably cover quite a bit in the presentation, but yeah, just beautifully stated everything. Just how easy the program is and how relatively time-wise, how results can come about.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, Bob. Well, my friend, you're up first. So let's go ahead and get you into speaker view here. And please do share with us a bit about your experience with the money mindset block and how you'd like to help everyone today.
Yeah, so all right, here we go. All right. So thanks, Gilly, and for the beautiful insight into the Break Free Mind program. And I'm excited for really what's in store for everyone, so they can break free, to see what they can break free from as well, and the infinite possibilities that can come from that. And then that fast action bonus, which is just amazing too. And I love how you brought up the part about, there was a lot of different areas, but in particularly at the end, about your life as being a canvas. And I will think of it as like a movie, in that your life is creating your own movie, and you get to write your own script and who the actors you want to portray in it. So, you've got that role. It empowers you to create your own movie for your life to roll out. So, I think that's kind of what hit me there. So, again, thank you for all that sharing. So sitting here listening to all this, and this morning and over even actually through this week, there's been a lot of more personal things that have been coming up for myself, and more layers of that onion that come around. And so I need to share something with y'all before I start here. And I was pondering how you all view me being the only male here in this space, surrounded by all you women. And I'm a man only until I'm not. So I know that sounds funny. So if this helps you to see the soul within me, then so be it. And the limbic brain craves novelty and the unusual. So hang on just a second. Right? It's all an illusion. So from lesson 14 in A Course of Miracles, what God did not create does not exist. And everything that does exist exists as he created it. The world you see has nothing to do with reality, and it is your own making and does not exist. So I thought I would share that. But so my journey through this week into the unknown and having no idea what was to come has presented me with various layers of unraveling. Surrendering to the unknown and trusting my higher self into a whole other dimension, a place of time, a whole other level of awakening, which is beautiful in my own self-discovery, in revealing more about myself and my why. I am here in this lifetime to express myself physically as a man, but yet not to let that define me, but to go within and express what is true to me and what fuels my soul. Inside every man exists a soul waiting to be discovered, but afraid of letting go of that tough, solid exterior, right? So as I practice my own pause and awareness and gentleness to you in dealing with my own insecurities and fear of the unknown, I am pausing into this awareness now, and I am feeling and sitting with this and bringing it to the front and not questioning why, but instead being gentle and having compassion, care, forgiveness, and kindness towards my beautiful self. As Dr. Joe Dispenza has said, it's time to be defined by the vision of the future instead of the memories of the past. Well said, Joe. So be it. So welcome back to day 5 of the challenge, everybody. And I am honored to be here to share with you my journey, experiences as a whole wellness coach that has totally transformed my life in so many ways. And that's what I want, and that is what I would want for you too. So thank you for saying yes to yourself and showing up here, because I know there are many other places you could be. And I've said that quite a few number of times, but it's true. I do honor the time that you've spent here with us. So thank you. and for bringing your energy into this space. And for those who don't know me, my name is Bob Nesbitt, and I'm a whole wellness coach and a functional medicine practitioner, and I empower middle-aged men by letting them know who they really are and how powerful they can be in manifesting the infinite possibilities available to them. I help them move forward by using a holistic, client-centered, trauma-informed approach, empowering them. This helps them to go within and tap into their own inner light so that they can show up and be the best versions of themselves and be their own badass self-healers. So it's interesting when I think about the group of people I work with, and with them having all these chronic health issues, and many of them have lost their jobs, they've lost their homes, family and friends, and feeling a loss of abandonment, financial stability, and loss of hope. And all this just impacts their nervous system even more. So while they need to find someone to work with, and being able to afford this is frightening and triggers that money mindset block, which often carries over from our upraising and our family values. So tonight I'll be talking about the money mindset block and have really felt this block all my life. So coupling this with perfectionism and the time block, these three stand out in a big way for me and are so intertwined, right? They can't be really separated, but feeding each other all of the time. So I'll share with you here a bit about my money mindset block and how it has impacted me growing up through my journey and as an entrepreneur and the associated stress I had around money and how I'm working through that to allow more flow and ease into my life and to let things happen more naturally rather than trying to force it and thus helping to reduce my own overall stress. It all starts early on, right? Growing up, and I was living in a household with my younger sister and two older stepsisters and an older stepbrother. So being part of a split family entailed some emotional consequences at times. So with my parents having to raise 5 of us, I often recall statements and or being told things like, well, we saved enough money drinking powdered milk. And well, by the way, that stuff is really nasty. Now we can get you a new pair of shoes or whatever it was that any of us might have needed at the time. Or even these that I'm sure maybe that you've all heard. Money doesn't grow on trees. And at the root of all evil is money. And I recall having an allowance that we earned, but we were told, don't spend it all in one place and to save it. So basically, scarcity and hoarding of money. We just couldn't afford things. I recall my dad going from job to job, and I would often hear him comment that he's, well, the jack of all trades, but master of none. And he started up many new businesses only to have them fail, and he worked tons of different jobs and would tell me that he may not have been the best father, but I never went hungry and had a roof over my head. My dad never finished high school. He had to drop out and go to help support his mom, sisters, and brother. There is much more to this story that isn't really relevant right now, part of the topic, but the point being is that our family never had enough money and hard to come by. And you need to make sacrifices to earn it, as well as sacrificing yourself and your own well-being in the process. And my dad would tell me to save every penny you can. And it's that what you save is more important than what you make. So more of that scarcity and hoarding going on, right? So I find all this interesting as being raised from my parents whose parents went through the 20s and 30s depression era dealing with scarcity. And I reflect on that. Additionally, I was told to learn a trade, to earn a living. which is a mindset of working for somebody else, when we probably should be asking ourselves, how do we want to impact the world, which is more entrepreneurial based. So one thing that I find interesting too is that my parents were firm believers in living within your means. And credit cards were frowned upon, and if you had a card, it should be paid off every month, which is something that is carried over into my life. So when it came to me running my own business, I can see now why I struggled as much as I did. And I ran myself into the ground was the beginning of my chronic health issues. I had money blocks with spending money or investing in things that would potentially help me grow my business. And I was scared of running out of money. So I saved my money and had a scarcity mindset around money. Unfortunately, all the money I did save was lost in my journey trying to recover and recoup my own health. So my whole money mindset block then became even more of an issue as the scarcity of money was up front. I'm spending all my money on my health and freaking out about it all. I had to sell my business as I couldn't manage it and just couldn't manage it any longer, right? I just couldn't keep up. I lost my safety net of money and felt like I was suffocating. I eventually moved on and working for someone else who while still struggling with chronic health issues, with no financial safety net. And then a bit later on, I got laid off from my job due to a corporate restructuring. And since my health was doing a bit better, I felt that at that time, a calling to help others in their own journey. I decided to make the jump back into entrepreneurship and into the health and fitness area. So fast forward a bit into my journey, I was tired of the protocol jumping and being financially unstable, that there had to be another way. I came to realization that my journey required more of a spiritual path. And this is where I came across Break Free Mind. And to my surprise, my friend Lita, who I had met back in 2016, was the creator and instructor. I had to jump on board. And Break Free Mind has provided me with some incredible transformation in helping me uncover the blocks that I never knew I had or even existed. The course brought me attention to my own ego and what that is and what the right mind is, and how to start feeling more safe and secure, and how abundant the universe is. And that we need to shift from a state of lack to an abundance mindset. But here's the thing. To believe that's possible. To tap into your heart and have faith. And how to establish coherence with the head and heart to have faith and gratitude that is already coming to you. So again, faith and that head-heart belief. And this goes beyond wanting it, as we all want these things: health, abundance, money, and so on. But it's more than just visualizing it and doing affirmations, but actually believing it's possible. Not that those things aren't needed, as they often are. And they do have their place. So again, it's the coherence of faith, belief, and gratitude. So yeah, take a leap of faith, surrender control, and believe it'll come, and it does. I used to think the only way was to work hard and grind it out. And when I did that, money didn't come. Every time I practice these things, all of a sudden synchronicities happen. and things just work out. I meet someone or some messages that I needed to hear just come my way. So the simple self-awareness of your thoughts, of what you're telling yourself each day, to change your thoughts from I can't to I can. And I use I am statements quite a bit, along with that faith and the belief. So statements such as, I am worthy of the best that love and life have to offer, and I expect the best to happen. I am grateful for the abundance in my life, and money flows easily to me. I am a money magnet. And it's also interesting on how we view money as a material thing, but money is an exchange of energy. So shift your view and how you feel about money. Then I think you have all heard the term, I'll believe it when I see it. But actually, this is back-asswards when applied to quantum, as it should be expressed more like this. We'll see it when we believe it. It's all about energy, frequency, and collapsing the wave into reality. And depending on how much you believe will determine the amount of time that this comes to fruition for you. So in wrapping up, I want to thank Gilly and Lita for the opportunity to allow us to share with you all today and for guiding us and helping us become the whole wellness coaches that we are. And like Gilly mentioned earlier, I do have an upcoming Break Free Mind course that's going to be starting soon. And with that discounted price, it'll be available to the first 3 who would like to work with me. So take advantage of that fast action offer by typing in Break Free. Well, you'd have to type Break Free Bob if you do it in the comments so we know who you're going for. But if you want to, or reach out to me by direct message and say the same, and I'll be really happy to talk to you and scheduling a call to see if Break Free Mind would be a good fit for you. Or maybe you might resonate with one of the other beautiful souls here too, and that's quite okay. So that's what I wanted to share with you all today. And I hope that you continue this journey of the infinite possibilities that await you. And the best way to do that is just to open up to that possibility, even if it's just a small little bit, 1%, 1/4%. Otherwise, you'll never know what is waiting for you on the other side. This 555 challenge was just the beginning. Now it's up to you to follow through with Break Free Mind, and that would be your next best logical step. That's all I have. I'm going to turn it back over to my beautiful soul, Gilly. And again, thank you all for being here. It's been a pleasure. With much love, light, and joy to you all. Truth is your essence. Sat Nam.
Sat Nam, Bob. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. I love your humor. I love all of you that you expressed this evening, this afternoon, and just the levity you brought to this conversation. And not only the levity, but the great wisdom, especially stating that we believe it, we see it when we believe it. And that it's not a state of, well, I must see it in order to believe it. And opening up to the quantum possibilities, the infinite possibilities that await all of us, and that neither one person or the other is more attuned to it or worthy of it. We're all very much worthy and able to do so. It's just, what are those blocks that have been keeping us from it? So thank you, Bob. Thank you for your dedication throughout this challenge and bringing forth the best of you and your heart and your vulnerability and your divine masculine and your divine feminine, and really bringing it together to paint a very beautiful picture of who you are, what you offer, and your story, so others can relate and feel more validated and heard. So thank you so much, Bob. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You guys reach out to Bob, DM him, type Break Free Bob in the comments, or DM him to get that discounted price and to work with him more fully and to become your own badass self-healer. Have fun with it. You know you're going to have a good time with Bob, that is for sure.